having me with such a huge crowd. And it must have been difficult for everyone to make the accommodations, but I guess I want to start out by just talking a little bit about things I'm not good at. And it's a lot of things, but I guess I'll start with one. I'm not good at talking dirty. I was dating a girl for a while who was amazing at talking dirty, like super smooth, to where she would say things like, I just want to rub my tongue over every inch of your body. And I'm like, all right, I'm clever, I'm smooth, just say what first comes to mind. Don't do that. Then you'll end up saying things like, I just want to live inside of you for days. And I don't even have a punchline to that joke. You can imagine on your own how awkward it was. Other things I'm not good at. I'm not good at having sex on waterbeds. I tried to do that recently, and I just felt like it was like an amoeba. I was just smothering her. I couldn't get into any rhythm. I was just up there. And I did that joke, and once after show, a guy comes up to me and he goes, it's because you're doing it wrong, man. What you have to do is you have to have a hole in the waterbed, duct tape it up, have a bucket nearby. When you're about ready to bang, you want to take some water out, all right? And then when there's less water, it makes it way easier to get into that rhythm. I go, dude, how much time do you have? Most time I can't even take my socks off, much less take waterbed out. Plus, I don't want to take the chance of her waking up. Yeah, that's right. I started my set with the sleep rape joke, and there's a reason for that. I'm single. That was the transition. And yeah, so I got out of a long-term relationship, and during the whole breakup process, she sent me a letter, and it was basically describing all of the things that she's left in my apartment that she wanted back. And it was incredible, the amount of detail and memory that she had, to where it was seriously like, there's a blue Ann Taylor cardigan, it's in a suitcase in your closet. There's also a back to an area behind your lamp on the nightstand. Also, in your vanity, there's a half-full jar of Neosporin. You're going to want that. And there's a little bit of a muffin tin wedged between your stove and the fridge. I'm going to need those things back. And overall, I was just impressed. I was like, how do you have that kind of memory? I couldn't even remember where I put the lid to my eye drops like 4 fucking seconds after I put it in my face. And then she ended it a little bit bitchy. It said, oh, and there's also a tampon in your glove box. You can go ahead and keep that. Exactly, right? So my response was, well, I think you got my tent, probably like 6 pairs of gym shorts, and oh, you can go ahead and keep the herpes. I didn't want to give it to her, I give her enough. I say I'm a giver. But here's the bottom line. When I was kind of going through those trials of, dating someone and getting to the stage of fighting a lot and thinking about breaking up, I wish I would have gotten good advice from my friends and family. But no, they gave me terrible advice. They said things like, honestly, if it just doesn't feel right, don't rush into things. You got your whole life ahead of you. Don't rush into something that you're going to regret. Terrible advice. What they should have said is, well, in all honesty, anyone in a long-term relationship is miserable. And on top of it, any hot girl that's single in her 30s is fucking crazy. Maybe they gave me other advice. They said, well, Travis, that means you're going to be single. And women are attracted to either men that have money or men that can protect them. And you don't have either. But no. So here I am, back in the dance. And those crazies I was talking about, well, they're all over the place. Let me explain something to you. Men kind of have this system to where that we kind of weigh, depending on how hot a girl is, how many red flags that we will just choose to ignore. And basically that works, and I'll give you an example. So I was dating this girl, got in her car, and immediately I saw one of those, like crusted out old roses that you see those sketchy peddlers try to pawn on you when you're in the middle of a bar, try to convince you in front of a group of girls that you should buy them for them. So yeah, one of those. So I see this in her car, and I asked, I don't know why I asked, I said, what's the story here? I'm hoping maybe she's got a good explanation, like, well, it was the last rose that my father ever gave my mother before the car accident. But no, she didn't say that. She said something way worse. She said, well, it wasn't like, one of those things where I like tricked a guy or asked him to buy it for me. It was actually me and my friend Bridget. We were out, and we thought it'd be cute to buy one for each other. God, I wish you had dead parents. But no. So, and again, to elaborate, so basically the way it works, depending on how hot you are, I will listen to all and ignore all of these red flags until eventually the red flags outweigh the benefit of having sex with you. It just so happens that usually that amount is once. Girls don't appreciate that, but that's not really what the problem is. The problem is having to explain that because you can't tell them the truth. When you want to cut ties, when you want to end it, you can't just be honest. You can't say things like, well, honestly, it really creeped me out. The first time we had sex, we were watching the girl with the dragon tattoo, which has like 4 rape scenes, and you wanted me to choke you while banging? No, you can't say things like that, so you have to lie. And you say things like, I'm not ready to get in a long-term relationship. I need to focus on my work. Because if you were honest, then you end up saying things like, well, it's because you cried when you watched The Bachelor, and you're way too fucking old to still be hula hooping. Again, you can't say things like that. I actually recently was dating a girl, and it wasn't so much the red flag scenario, it was just all the little shit she did annoyed me, and it was the way that she ate. We'd go out to dinner, and you know how it is. Not like the typical really annoying girl you go out to dinner with, to where she orders the worst thing on the menu every time and then complains about the food and then eats yours and it's like, oh, yours is so much better. Yeah, I know mine's better. I didn't order the Asian chicken salad without chicken. Are you an idiot? Of course mine's better. And since when did you get on this kick of acting like you're healthy? I've seen the way you funnel down ice cream because you had a bad day at work because your boss thought Sabrina's work was better. No. So anyways, I digress. She wasn't that type. She was the exact opposite, a rare breed. She was the type of girl that ate like the most unhealthy, gross shit and just funneled it into her face. When you go out to dinner, she'd be ordering like shepherd's pies and fried chicken, just like no veg, double mashed potatoes. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot go down on you. You ordered extra sides of gravy 4 times this week. And on top, honestly, her pussy was scary enough as it is. She was a yoga instructor, and honestly, if you got into that scenario where you were kind of a little limp dick and you were a little reluctant to get into the whole sexual act, it was like a wounded gazelle going into a steel trap. I was terrified as it is. But again, you can't say these things to women. You have to lie. You have to say absolutely ridiculous. And it just perpetuates the crazy cycle over and over again because they just hate men and it never ends. Thanks very much, I'm Travis.
That was Travis, everybody. It is really fun.